All right, got to get to some breaking news now into us. You know, at the top of the show, we told you how there was this question mark of who Donald Trump, the president-elect, would name as his next pick to lead the Justice Department. Turns out we now know. Former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, that is who he has chosen in literally like the last 95 seconds here. She would, of course, replace Matt Gaetz in that process moving forward. Gaetz took his name out of the running earlier today. Vaughn Hilliard is joining us now. Boy, this moved fast, Vaughn. Right? I mean, it's literally just been hours since Gaetz, I mean, in the course of the last 24 hours, Vaughn Hilliard, Gaetz was on Capitol Hill trying to get senators to back him. Then he withdrew his name. Now, another, I think, fair to say, absolutely Trump loyalist, somebody else who is part of the MAGA movement, somebody who's considered a conservative firebrand, is Mr. Trump's pick now to serve as the head of the Justice Department.
Right. We just talked a few moments ago, and I'll admit I was about a block down the road, and somebody shouted out.
Thanks for turning around and coming back, friend.
The name Pam. Somebody said the name Pam Bondi, and my response was, for what? And I say that not of any disrespect for Pam Bondi, the longtime Attorney General of Florida from 2011 to 2019, but because Donald Trump really is not telegraphing his picks in a very public way. These are picks, much like Matt Gaetz came as a surprise. Pam Bondi was not a name that we have conversed about over the last hours since Matt Gaetz took his name out of the running. That said, Pam Bondi, as you noted, has been a longtime ally of the former president and now president-elect. When you were covering that White House, you know that Pam Bondi was a presence often there helping defend him during his impeachment proceedings. She left as AG in 2019. She was somebody that became a frequent presence on Fox and other right-wing cable outlets to defend Donald Trump. And now you fast forward to the year of 2024, Pam Bondi is now the latest nominee of Donald Trump to be the next Attorney General of the United States.
The question's going to be, okay, can she get Senate confirmed, right? Can she make it through the Senate process? And I will note, guess what? Our Hill reporters are now jumping into action, asking senators this very question as of about 90 seconds ago. So the answer is really, we don't know yet. It's going to be a question mark as to how these Senate Republicans feel. What we can, I think, say is that that Matt Gaetz was an explosive choice for AG, right? Which is why I think you saw some of that almost immediate pushback from Senate Republicans. I think there's a question mark as to whether Bondi is going to be quite as much of a political grenade, if you will.
Right. And honestly, Hallie, I think we'll have to go back and listen to some of her interviews over these last years and the extent to which she has talked about the Department of Justice. Of course, for Matt Gaetz, everybody knew that he, with quite the bombast, would talk about rooting out the deep state, the supposed D state inside of the Department of Justice, and that career prosecutors were going to need to be fired. And frankly, this announcement came in just the last few minutes. And Pam Bondi has been a surrogate for Donald Trump. She's been a big booster of his. But I think that this is going to be why the confirmation proceedings and hearings take place, because I'm sure undoubtedly that a lot of senators who will absolutely know who Pam Bondi is. They know that she served here in California or in Florida for 8 years as Attorney General, but undoubtedly there's going to be a lot of questions about her past and her positions and what she wants to do with the Department of Justice that will undoubtedly face scrutiny up on Capitol Hill, understanding that Donald Trump made the commitment to pick loyalists and allies for the second administration. And nobody I have ever heard of questioned Pam Bondi and